Now I like to welcome Dr. Milind Kulkarni, sir. Sir has a 34 years of experience and he's also specialized in water treatment, air pollution, and soil waste management. And currently, he is the president of Prakruti Education and Research Foundation and director of Prakruti Research Institute. Sir, I welcome you to deliver this is our second keynote speech. Yes.
So thank you, Yashasri, for that excellent introduction. So many of the delegates of this program, they have registered for online mode. So simultaneously, this program is being live streamed through Google Meet. So that's why you are finding little bit here and there. So my address is on sustaining WASH and SWM infrastructure of Mumbai, identifying and addressing O&M challenges. So this is the research study project which was awarded to Prakruti Research Institute by All India Institute of Local Self-Government. So I am thankful to them. So the name appears just one sentence, but there is both Ramayana and Mahabharata in this one small sentence. So WASH, what is WASH? Water supply, sanitation and health. And what is SWM? Solid waste management. Okay. So we have to study what are the operation and maintenance challenges. So first we have to identify them, right? And then we have to suggest recommendations about how to overcome them. And that is not only for one city, that is for 5 cities. Which are these 5 cities? Mumbai, Pune, Kolhapur, Sawantwadi and Panaji. And this work we have to do in within a time frame of 3 to 6 months. So it was really a big challenge, but we tried to do that. And then in this lecture, I am going to present only about the Mumbai scenario. What are the challenges and what are our recommendations to overcome them. So as I told you, water supply, WASH, water supply. So water supply under Bombay Municipal Corporation is under the hydraulics department. Then sanitation. So these words, it is very difficult to get for a normal man to get conversant. So sanitation means what? It is divided into 3 different departments. One is sewerage operations. So we are lucky to have Dr. Ajit Salvi here, who is the Deputy Chief Engineer of Sewerage Operations Department. So all the operations of sewerage systems, entire Bombay, they are handled by this department. Then there is stormwater department. When you came to know that the importance of this department in which year? 2005. Entire Bombay was flooded and so many people died because the stormwater drain system couldn't take the load of that heavy rainfall, and we became famous all over world. So what are the challenges they are facing? Why this is happening? And then of course MSDP department. MSDP department is the department of projects. So they handle different sewage treatment plant projects. And then sewerage projects. So that is the new projects for sewerage systems. They are handled by this particular department. So as I told, Mumbai Municipal Corporation is one of the biggest ULBs in India. It is one of the richest municipal corporations in Asia. You all know the amount of fixed deposit this municipal corporation is having. How much? I think 75,000 crores. Yes, 75,000 crores fixed deposit. So it is bigger than state. So nobody wants to run state. They want to run Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai. People are very happy to be corporators here rather than member of parliaments or MLAs. So, as you know, my most of the part of my career was as a professor. So, 20 years in SP College of Engineering, 8 years in ITM group of institutions, and many of my students are holding the positions at very high level in BMC. So, and thanks to Dr. Salvi, I get direct access to these officers. So, first my visit was to the hydraulics department and then to the stormwater department. Mr. Gotarne is here, executive engineer. Mr. Kotkar is the executive engineer in hydraulics department. And these are the other engineers who are always happy to welcome me anytime. And here you can see Dr. Salvi and his staff, executive engineer Mr. Gavas. So because of this, we came to know what are the best practices Mumbai Municipal Corporation is having and what are the challenges. So all the basic information is nowadays available on Google and all that. So I'm not going into the details of that. So I'm directly coming to what are the best practices and what are the challenges and what are our recommendations, right? So what are the best practices? So everybody in Mumbai is lucky to get sufficient water in big quantity. No, there is no water scarcity as such. If you go to cities like Chennai, there is water scarcity. People are not getting enough water. But that is not the case in Mumbai. So regarding the quality of water, sufficient number of samples are collected and water is tested continuously. It is done as per ISO 10500. So there are 1820 parameters. But as you know, we test 1820 parameters every day. If you go to France, Paris, they are testing 450 parameters every day. So this is the difference, 20 versus 450, because they don't want to take any risk. Even small metals, pesticides, which can cause cancer or which is called as carcinogenic, they are testing that. Then our water treatment plant at Bhandup complex is the biggest in Asia and it works on PLC and SCADA. So the continuous automation is there. And they are operated very nicely. Separate and underground sewerage system is there. Stormwater drainage system is there. And the coverage is 97%, so which is extremely high. So 7 STPs are there and latest technology is deployed for them. And we are treating around 2190 MLD of sewage every day. So which is around 50% of the sewage generated. And online 24/7 complaints resolution mechanism is established. And as I told, BMC is one of the richest ULVs in Asia and enough funds are made available for WASH projects. So sewage treatment plants recently, BMC is spending thousands of crores of rupees on the construction of the sewage treatment plants. So now coming to the challenges. So what are the challenges BMC is having? First challenge what we studied was 50% water meters are not working, are not in working condition. So they are not in working condition and whatever meters are there, majority of them are mechanical or analog type. So what is our recommendation? So it is recommended to change the water meters from analog types to electromagnetic and electronic sensor type. They can be connected to mobile app and the consumption can be tracked online. So this will help in reducing the loss due to thefts and leakages. So it is also recommended that, so that is about the online metering. Then second challenge is the water meters are provided at buildings, but the individual flats in the society are not provided with water meters. So this results in excessive consumption as there is no incentive to save water like electricity. So electricity, every flat gets his own bill, right? But that is not the same for water. So what is the recommendation? Nowadays, many startups have come up with solutions which use electronic meters which can be connected to cloud-based mobile apps. So it is recommended to try such solutions at selected buildings through BMC and then scale up the solutions to other buildings. So I'm happy to tell that we have one startup, FluxGen. I think So Mr. Bharadwaj is representing that FluxGen. And these startups are driving the economy. And we will have excellent presentation of Mr. Bharadwaj from FluxGen. So he will be talking about, electronic water meters, electromagnetic water meters, and how you can, online you can track your water consumption. So I request the engineers from BMC to contact with them and see how it can be implemented by BMC. So it is recommended particularly to the commercial buildings, to go for these solutions. So commercial buildings, do you know what is the rate of water supply? Our Indian Oil Indorkar Saab was there. So if Mr. Indorkar Saab, Colonel Indorkar Saab is taking water for his home, he has to pay only 5 rupees for 1000 liters. But for his Indian Oil headquarter, he has to pay 60 rupees per 1000 liters. So these commercial buildings, their rates are very high. And therefore these applications have got greater value for commercial buildings, right? So we are going to employ this solution first on trial basis for a commercial building. Then another challenge is clogging of stormwater drains, sewers and nalas. So this needs to be public awareness campaigns. This should be followed by huge penalties which will deter erring persons to litter. So there should be CCTV cameras to nab the culprits. So technology like screens should be used to collect the plastic and other materials at the mouth of the rivers like Miti. So this technology is successfully used. So floating brooms are used in Miti. But there are allegations that whatever is trapped, it is not cleared immediately, which gives rise to breeding of mosquitoes. So it should be cleared immediately. And there was a report in Maharashtra Times dated March 24, 2023. There were allegations that the sludge which is removed by contractors from a river is again deposited in another river. So the sludge is actually supposed to be taken to Taloja, where there is a separate facility for sludge management, but it is not done. So we should use technologies like GPS to stop these such types of malpractices, if any. We don't know whether it is correct or not. And blacklisting of contractors should be there to deter from such malpractices. So Dr. Salvi is there. He will talk in details probably in his lecture about these problems. Pollution of water bodies due to discharge of wastewater. So what is the recommendation? You have to intercept and treat the sewage and dispose treated water in the rivers and nalas. So this seepage is a big problem, and because of that our rivers, Bombay used to have rivers like Miti, Dahisar, Poisar and Oshiura, but they are no longer rivers, they have become nalas. That is because of the seepage of this wastewater into that. And many lakes also we are working on this Bandra Talao, So Bandra Talao, originally it was supposed to be a beautiful lake, but now because of the seepages, it has become like a polluted water body. No fish can survive. Do you know what is the dissolved oxygen required for the survival of fish? 4 milligrams per liter. But in lakes, if we test the water in the lake at Bandra, you find the BOD as 90 milligrams per liter. So it is as good as sewage, because sewage, even if Indian standards say sewage BOD should be what? 250 to 300 milligrams per liter. But if you actually test the sewage in a residential complex, the BOD is around 100 milligrams per liter only, because we use so much water in cities, no? If you do small urination, you just flush the water. You go there, just flush the water. Because of that, the sewage in Bombay is getting diluted. So the point which I was making is, the Bandra Talao or Bandra Lake water is nothing but a sewage, because its BOD is around close to 100, right? So we have to do, to intercept this sewage which is contributing to these water bodies, treat. Nowadays there are technologies like constructed wetland, like my friend Mr. Mithu was telling, phytorite treatment. So you can treat that through these technologies which are not costly also, and then you add this water into water bodies, right? So we have friends from, I think, Innovative Water Technologies. So they have done some modification and they have a patented product. So they are going to talk about this. So sewage treatment, interception, then you add, then there are many solutions. There should be birds, there should be complete ecology. Then we can revive these lakes. Like there are very good examples in Bangalore, how they have revived the lakes. Similarly, we have to do for Mumbai, for lakes as well as for rivers. Another problem is 60% sewage doesn't reach STPs only. Now, BMC has constructed so many 7 sewage treatment plants. But what is the use if your 50% sewage is not reaching there? Every housing society has got sewage, like many societies have got septic tanks, right? But whether the water from septic tanks goes to the sewerage system, there is a big question mark. So many times this water gets seeped. Many times we see Bombay, there are around 40% slums are there. Now where the slums are discharging their wastewaters? Into stormwater drains, right? Like there are many people from stormwater drains and other engineers. Please correct me if I am wrong. But what happens? The system is not entirely separate. Like stormwater drains should be a separate system and sewerage should be a separate system. But what happens? There are interceptions. So sewage through slums enters the stormwater drains, and when the rainwater comes, it again goes to the sea and pollutes the seawater, pollutes the lakes. So first we have to see to it that rigid norms should be there for septic tanks. People just use some brickwork, there are through the joints the water leaks. We should not have that. RCC type of septic tank should be there, so that the sewage should not leak into the ground. Inadequate recycling of treated sewage. Now in countries like United Arab Emirates, many of us have gone to Dubai, right? So what is the problem of Dubai? They have got a lot of oil, but they don't have water. So 90% water is recycled. All the sewage is taken by the tankers of the Dubai Municipal Corporation and treated, and again it is recycled, right? So we have MSDP 1, MSDP 2. So out of MSDP 1, I think only 100 MLD is treated. Treated sewage is available. And therefore, we have to see to it that how maximum this treated sewage will be recycled. So MSDP 2, there is a consultant and he has suggested to use 12 MLD treated sewage from Colaba as a recycling basis. So what we find is that it is very less, right? How much the water supply is BMC is providing? 4,000 MLD around. And this is peanuts, right? So now the new sewage treatment plants, which BMC is spending more than 10,000 crores of rupees, there the plan is there that around 50% of this treated sewage will be used, recycled. Nowadays, you know, air quality of Mumbai is deteriorating. So what they are doing? Deep cleaning. So for deep cleaning, what they are doing? They are using a lot of water and cleaning the roads and all that. So this treated sewage can be used for deep cleaning of the roads, and you can improve the air quality, as well as you should not waste the water. At one point you say, we have to reduce the water footprint, we should conserve the water, and at other level what you are doing? Now how the sewage of Bandra is treated nowadays? Anybody has got any idea? Bandra, Waradi, what sewage treatment plant process is there? Yes, Bandra and Waradi, now what is the sewage treatment? Outfalls are there, right? So we are just giving primary treatment, and what we are doing? We are just discharging all the sewage into sea, isn't it? So now we are going to change that, because now we know that sewage is a resource, right? RCF, it is purchasing sewage from Bombay Municipal Corporation. They have invested crores of rupees on sewage treatment plant, and they are reusing it in their manufacturing process, right? So this thousands of MLD water sewage, it should not go into the sea. So you should treat it and you should recycle it. Many municipal corporations are finding it difficult. Okay, Amrut, there is funds, they are constructed sewage treatment plant. But what is to be done with that treated sewage? They are facing problem. There are no takers to that. So they are trying to, Kolhapur also, they are trying to sell it to farmers and all that. But again, that financial calculation is not matching. Absence of dual water systems. Now it is recommended that every housing societies, they should have two water systems. One is for drinking water and another is for flushing water, right? But it is not happening, because what happens, they just have only one tank, and then again it is taken, and so all the 90% of the building, for flushing which water they are using? The water which BMC gives for drinking. So that drinking water they are using for flushing, right? So it is a colossal wastage, I will say. So what you should have? A separate water tank for flushing, separate water tank for drinking, and on the terrace also you should have separate tanks, one for drinking and another is for flushing. So many people have only one tanks. Some people have two tanks, but what they do again these tanks are interconnected. So the basic purpose is lost. So we have to do strict compliance, and it should be mandatory to provide separate system for flushing water and separate system for drinking water. So this is about WASH. So I know we are behind the schedule. Met him, and then I got to know what are the problems, what are the good things, and what are the solutions. So most of our solid waste, where it is taken to a place called as Kanjurmarg. So there we have 118.41 hectares of land, and it receives around 5,500 tons per day solid waste. Out of this, 4,000 to 4,500 tons per day is treated by bioreactor landfilling. Under this technology, 1 to 4 megawatt of electricity is generated from biogas, which is used for internal purposes, and the leachate is recycled into the reactor. So the waste treated is mixed one and not segregated. So they don't segregate it, majority of them. Only 1,000 tons per day is segregated by material recovery facility, and the segregated wet waste is treated by windrows composting, and the compost generated is sold to RCF through the tendering process. And the contract is awarded to Anthony and Lara. Anthony, Indian company, and Lara is the company from Brazil. So there is a joint venture for 25 years up to 2036, and the tipping fee is around 795 rupees per ton. So most of the solid waste is handled in this manner. And there is another waste processing site as Devnar. So I was discussing with my friend from Canada, we have a landfill facility at Devnar. So he corrected me, sir, that is not a landfill facility. You are just dumping the waste there. Because landfill is also a scientific process. So you construct a length, width, and height is there. So it layers. So it is not there. We are just dumping the waste there. So the citizens which are nearby, they are facing a lot of problems. And around 600 to 800 tons per day is processed there. And they are now going to have a 600 TPD waste to energy project. Like we were discussing with Mr. Indokar and Mr. Muthu, waste to energy project should be a solution which should be tried, because all this plastic which cannot be recycled, nowadays it is just dumped there. Instead of that, or another way is, it is taken to the cement factories and where it is used as fuel. Now where are the cement factories? Chandrapur, which is around 600 kilometers from Bombay. So from here you take 600 kilometers there, and there it is used as fuel. Instead of that, you have a waste to energy project in Devnar itself, right? So we are working out on that. The problem was that people were feeling that when the things are burnt, there will be air pollution. But now the technologies are so advanced that we need not worry about that, and we are talking about reducing the carbon footprint. So this waste to energy project will be a good thing for reducing the carbon footprint also. But of course, we have to take care of the air pollution. So the total waste processed is 6,400 metric tons per day, including major 90% at Kanjurmarg and 10% at Devnar. In addition to that, construction and demolition waste processing facility, 800 metric tons per day is there at Gorai. Then biomedical waste is transported, which is 24 metric tons per day, and it is treated by incinerator at Govandi. So as you know, many people who are staying in Mumbai, they know there are a lot of complaints by the residents which are staying in the slums around this Govandi plant. Because when we see that white smoke coming out of that incinerator. So there are now things which are going on, and it is going to get transferred to Taloja. So this is in short, the processing of waste. In addition to that, there are 46 dry waste segregation centers throughout Mumbai. and 180 metric tons per day of dry waste is segregated and recycled. So there are many NGOs which are working in these areas. And in Bandra West and Andheri East, they have gone one step further, and they are segregating plastic and then melting the plastic and generating plastic globules, which in this way plastic is recycled. And this initiative is supported by United Nations Environment Program. So because these things is financially not viable, so that bridge fund, they are coming through UNAP and also CSR funds of Hindustan Lever. So staffing pattern, BMC has 24 wards, and each ward there is a good staff appointed by SWM department. There is one AESD, solid waste management in every ward, and he is supported by junior engineer, and there are 3-4 supervisors, 4-5 junior officers, and 8 to 10 mukadams. And there are 3 deputy chief engineer operations to look after city, eastern suburbs and western suburbs, and there are 7 executive engineers who are looking after 7 zones. Under each executive engineer, there are 3-4 wards. So correct me if I am wrong. I think there are many people from solid waste management department. Who is from solid waste management department? I think, sir, you are there. So I think this is correct, right? So what are the best practices in solid waste management department? So there is a concept of advanced locality management, ALM, which is a citizen body, right? So now I am also secretary of one ALM, which is in RTO area, Andheri West. So every ward office, they conduct meetings once in a month or once in 2 months. And their citizens and BMC staff, they come together and they discuss how to solve these local problems. And I'm very happy that because of my active involvement in ALM, I could solve many problems in my RTO Andheri West area. And because I know now directly whom to contact. So before I was not in ALM, I was not having any contact at all. So citizen bodies like ALMs is a very good initiative where like citizens can participate and they know, they use their expertise in solving the problems of the cities. So that is, I find, is not available in many other cities. So I feel other cities should emulate, and BMC should also actively use this particular apparatus, because many times we find that ALM meetings are also not conducted in 5, 6 months. So in BMC's website, if you go, it is written that ALM meeting should be conducted at least once or twice in a month. But it is not conducted rigorously because BMC staff is limited. Citizens are there. They should use the citizen bodies. They are their eyes and ears. So SWM department is well structured. BMC has made mandatory for bulk generators that those who are generating more than 100 kg per day, they should have their own solid waste management facility. So that's how I came in contact with Indian Oil. So where all these bulk generators, they have to have their own processing site. So I helped our company Prachi Services help many housing societies to have their own solid waste management facility. So such rule is not available for any other cities. Like it is bulk generator, it is meant mandatory only in Bombay. If you go to Kolhapur, there is no such rule. So I think this is a good practice which is followed by Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation. BMC has provided employment to waste pickers through NGOs like Stri Mukti Sangatna, Akar, Asra, etc. So a lot of waste pickers are getting meaningful employment. So that is a very good practice. BMC has supported our NGO also, Prakruti Foundation, in efforts like recycling of thermocol, about which I already talked. BMC gives rebate in property tax for residential housing societies which are composting wet waste and recycling dry waste, and who are also doing rainwater harvesting and recycling treated sewage. If you are having their own sewage treatment plants, BMC is giving rebate in property tax, so which is a good benefit. So these are the very good practices which are followed. And recommendations, so am I on time or? So I think I am behind the schedule, I should just make fast. So segregation of waste at sources is the biggest challenge. So everybody who is sitting here, I think they are having this challenge. Can anybody tell me in your house, are you able to segregate waste 100%? How many of you say yes?
I segregate
100%. So I should felicitate you, madam, which is a very difficult task. I am also trying in my own house, but I can do 70-80%. My wife is also there. So they say you keep your knowledge and all that for seminars. I have to go to my school. I have to reach there at 7 o'clock in the morning. so like that, it is very difficult to implement. You know, if your own wife and your own maid is not listening, how can you can expect general citizens will listen? But of course, I have not accepted defeat. Every day I am trying. If whatever is dry waste, it should go into the blue dustbin, right? Whatever is compostable, it should go in the green dustbin, right? And all your hazardous waste like sanitary napkins, diapers, they should go as domestic hazardous waste. So you can wrap it in the newspapers, put a red mark and give. The moment these things will happen, I think 90% of BMC solid waste department work will reduce. Am I correct, sir? That is the biggest challenge we face. And once the things get mixed, then the treatment of that is havoc. Because then you have to employ your housekeeping staff to segregate. So then housing societies are not ready to spend money on that particular job. They will have Mercedes and Audi cars. But if you ask them to raise 200 rupees per month for solid waste management, nobody is ready for that. So what sustainable development we are talking about? So the finance minister has provided her budget. What was the reaction of the finance experts? When the economy will progress, the lower 80% people, if they get more money, then economy will progress. If you have 20% people, 10% people spending, only these people are spending, and whatever that is happening, our economy is booming. But unless 80% people don't spend, financial empowerment, my friend Alpa Shah is also there from Rotary Club of Mumbai, Inspire Secretary. So she is working very hard in the financial empowerment. So am I right, Alpa? Lower 80%. So if a waste picker, if he gets 10,000 rupees per month, 15,000 rupees per month, what is wrong in that? You have to just raise 200 rupees per month per flat for 200 flats. But if you ask these 200 flat people, they may be getting their own pension, they may be getting their own things. But if your housekeeping person will get 10,000 rupees, they will, अरे 8,000 में काम करते हैं तो 10,000 क्यों दे रहे हो? They are not worried about how in 8,000 rupees that person will manage his house. So that is what is required. We have to empower this lower 80% people, then our economy will boom like anything. So this is the problem of segregation. So if you segregate the waste, then the housekeeping person comes, he again mixes the waste, right? Because what he tells, now my job will double, no? If I have to carry one for dry and one for wet, you increase my salary. Then the housing society is not ready to that also. Then he says, okay, I will mix it, and when I will go to the ground floor, I will again separate it. But that never happens. So these are the challenges, and awareness is the first step, and then we have to penalize also. So unless penalization is not there, things will not move. BMC should not pick up the waste. If it is not segregated, will not pick up, forget it. Or 1 lakh rupees fine. So these are some of the methods by which you should maintain the segregation till the end. Now BMC is having what? Dry waste truck only will come on, say, Monday and Wednesday. And there the problem starts. Because till that time, people just mix it. If the dry waste comes daily, then I think the problem will become smooth. Because every day, dry is going, wet is going. Because if you keep the dry waste separately for 2-3 days, people will add their wet waste and other things in that. And again that waste will become mixed. So this practice, Navi Mumbai for example, in the same truck they are having dry waste, wet waste and different things. So like that BMC should also have in the same truck, but this system change will take some time. So there are issues related to Tetra Pak, etc. So composting also, there are certain recommendations. Waste to energy projects I already talked. So property tax rebate is there, but that software is not working. So Indian Oil, Andheri, they have got certificate for this. But actually we have not got a single rupee yet from BMC as a tax rebate, because the data, the software, there are technical issues. Because there is one property number, and then that property number only will be associated with that housing society. But our Indian Oil Nagar Andheri, they have got 6 acres of land and there are 12, 13 property numbers. So one housing society, for that we have to create that 12, 13 property numbers. So that is not possible. So you should have login with the name of the housing society rather than the property number. So I think solid waste management department people are there. So you should go and check whether the software, how we can improve the software, so that people who are doing sincerely this composting, they should actually get the tax rebate, right? Then other people will follow. Here what is happening, those who are doing, you are harassing them. Like now you are doing, no, you are getting property tax rebate, no, I will not pick up anything from you. So for them, but some things are there, coconut is there, many other things are there. So then people feel we are doing it also and we are facing more problems. The people who are not doing anything, BMC is coming and taking all the things. But those people who are taking, having their own plants, you are not giving them rebate also and you are not taking their waste also. So these things, I hope BMC will take into account. Issues related to bulk generators. So now you have started this outsourcing part, so people are misusing that. So you know that they say that our plant is there at Virar and we will process it, but many times that waste is given to BMC itself again. So I think that should be avoided. So monitoring and vigilance should be there for composting system. So that's it from my side. This was about SWM challenges, WASH challenges, and our recommendations of how to overcome them.
Thank you so much, sir, for this enlightening keynote speech.